Welcome, and at semi-final time in the Coca Cola 10-pin Classic, and the winner of this match between Victoria and New South Wales goes straight into the grand final. Let's have a look how the teams line up. For New South Wales, they have 19-year-old Billy Gardner, 30-year-old Sue Castle, and 21-year-old Robert Thompson. For Victoria, 32-year-old Ian Bradford, 20-year-old Cara Honeychurch, and 45-year-old John Sullivan. To join me in this important semi-final, in co-commentary, Terry Winban. First up in this semi-final will be New South Wales 19-year-old Billy Gardner.
Right now, Billy's not had a good event. He really needs to settle down, make the first good shot, and I think the other team will, the rest of his team members will jump for joy.
It's coming back.
All right, come on, let's take two.
Not the best start you'd want, is it?
Well, I think the looks on his on Sue and Robert there tell the story. You see here on the replay that he's going to pull the ball. He's not lined up at all.
What do you do here? Just take two and walk off with a loss, or is there a way out?
No, just take two. He's already bowled the loss. He's just got to make sure he gets two.
And that he has done.
If there's a frame you're going to open, that's the ball speed on the first one. That's the best one.
Ian Bradford.
You know, Ian's such a good player. He has, he's done the job today. He's got doubles in the 10th when he's needed. It strikes when he wants to.
And he's opened very well for his side.
Always. I think just about every match that he's bowled, he's started with a strike. He's rock solid, a great player. The FIQ Asian Zone Masters champion.
Can he start with a strike here? Yes! He's been doing it throughout the tournament. The first semi-final is no different for this man, Ian Bradford.
He's just such a good player. He knows where to play the lane. He's looked at it. He's just such a good player. You can't talk highly enough about him.
Now, New South Wales have changed their team around again. Now, Sue Castle led off in their last match, but they've gone back to the old, the old seedings. She'll bowl two.
Yes, they've put Billy in for the 10th. Hope it's a wise move.
Castle strikes. After opening the frame in the first, the Blues needed a strike in the second, and it's exactly what she's come up with.
That was a good shot by Sue there, dropped it short and it ran across, but again, we've talked about it before, it gets the result, and that's all that matters right now. They really need to get some strikes up on the board. They've got to get some pinfall because the Victorian team is just way too strong.
Cara Honeychurch.
Okay, on the spec.
Well, not a good shot, but coming a bit light on the head pin there, not taking the 5-pin out, but again, if you're going to leave a single pin, that's the best one to leave.
And this should be elementary. And it is.
Well, Sue got up, got a strike in the second frame. Sue anxiously watching.
Robert Thompson leaves one.
Well,
bit of tension on the New South Wales bench.
Well, they haven't performed terribly well during the event. And the ball, they're just not getting the ball out. They're all trying to play the big hook shot, and the Victorians are playing more down the boards, which is a much better shot.
A spare for the Blues.
I think what they're forgetting is that they only get to bowl 3 frames a game, and they've just got to pick a line and throw one shot. And this is what the Victorians are good at, especially this man, John Sullivan. He's just really the veteran of the event, and he has just shown the young people today what it's all about. He just goes up there, does the job, and goes and gets strikes.
He's nicknamed Mr. Magic, and the Magic almost got a strike.
Well, you can hear John there, great 9. He threw a poor shot, got 9. See there, he squared up at the foul line beautifully. Ball just goes high, kicks the 7, 10 falls. He'll be happy with that. Just go back, pick up the spare, make sure he gets it out there.
No problem.
Well, you heard the call from the bench, no problems. it wasn't for John Sullivan.
Well, this is a good shot here, Johnny. Make sure he gets the ball out there. Picks up the single pin, but after the third frame, the Vicks lead by 11.
Didn't open the game too well. Needs to consolidate here. New South Wales 11 behind.
Well, really, if I was a gambling man, I'd really bet on Billy to strike. He has to find something. He's a good player. He's just got to make good shots.
And he has.
Well, if there's anything that's going to pump him up, it's going to be a good break.
Time. We got a break.
You'll see here, Billy comes up. He goes high through the nose, kicks out everything, and just takes out that 6-pin. That's exactly what they need. You see there, that whipping action with his shoulders. Gives him all the leverage and the power, and that's where he generates it from.
And didn't the 6-pin have think before it went?
You like that, but back to Ian Bradford, the machine. This man's just struck enormously well so far. That was a good shot from Ian.
Pick it up, Ian.
You know, one thing about Ian's game, he always throws just enough shot. He doesn't throw the big ball, but when the lanes really open up, he can wing the ball out. He has a variety of shots that he can play, and he just throws enough ball. And that's really what the whole business is about.
Perfect.
Ian's a great sparer. Ian would have to be probably the best sparer in the game. Doesn't miss too many spares. But here we come with Sue Castle. Billy's got a strike up in the fourth. If they can get a strike here, they can close the gap. They can be level. And then put some pressure on the Victorians, because they've got to put some pressure on the Victorians. But such a strong side.
Great
Not
shot.
fair.
Great shot, Sean. Come on, great shot.
Well,
Have a go for it.
we've seen that left before on lane 14. We've left a lot of 4-9s on lane 14. Left some weird things there. So the ball just goes high. She just cut straight through it. That was a very bad break. It was a good shot. If it had missed an inch by either side, it would have been a strike.
This will be a real confidence booster if she can sneak this through for a spare.
All right, come on.
Well, she knew she had to go for it.
Come on, come on.
I think we've talked about it before, a strike being 10 plus the next 2 balls, but it's cost the team 2 pins, but she had to go for it. She had to try and give it a chance.
Cara. Oh, close.
A little unlucky there, not getting the mix she required. But this whole team is just bowling so well. They're always around the pocket. They're always looking dangerous. They're always a chance to get a strike. It keeps them morale up high. They're working well together. And the other teams, well, they're making mistakes, and these guys just aren't.
Yes. Just going along a tin-pot way, Cara Honeychurch. Bowling consistently, nothing sensational, but in a team's event, it's all compact.
Exactly. You know, she's going on. She's not making any mistakes to put her team members under pressure. They can go out there able to play the way they want to play, and they know that Cara's can be relied upon to keep the frames closed if she does make a bad shot. So, but let's see if Robert can do something.
Good shot.
Okay, come on. Back on the spare.
Great shot.
Well, he's making good shots, but the pins aren't falling over. They need to get strikes. They're going to be 20-odd pins down. See the ball, he just jumps up high, just cuts it hard out of it, lose the 4-pin again. They spare here, they can be 94 in the 6th. They're only running at 170 pace.
Yes.
You know, you can't help but thinking that, you know, is it possible for the Vicks to make a mistake? They're just bowling so solidly and so well.
Well, they've obviously picked their line right.
They have, actually. You know, like, as I was mentioning before, that all the guys that are turning the ball up this weekend, Carl, Andrew, Robert, Billy, they're all struggling. Yet the guys that are bowling down the boards have had a much, much better shot. That was a bit unlucky there. But you've got guys like Tom Curry, they're all playing down the boards, and they're all bowling very, very well. And the guys that are swinging it just aren't getting the job today, leaving a lot of raps, a lot of garbage. But look, again, always around the pocket, always threatening. Keeps the pressure on the other team, because the other team thinks, well, you know, surely they're going to fall, surely they're going to get a double.
Well, they've had 5 nines, the Vicks. And the spares are becoming automatically, and New South Wales making a mistake. They're playing catch-up, and Victoria are not leaving any part of the gate open.
Exactly. And now, like down in the 6th frame, Victoria leads by 22.
Victoria finishing on top, New South Wales finishing in 4th position. And Victoria lead by 22 pins.
Well, this shot here will pretty much determine the match, I think.
He needs it, but oh, it's awkward.
Come on.
It's, as we said before...
Is this fellow bowling all that badly, or is the luck not there as well as him not playing to what you normally know he can do?
Billy needs a lot of the players that turn the ball up are conditioned players, and if the conditions are not there, they really don't adjust that well. And yes, a great spare. That's a super spare, but the five count just takes him further behind. You'll see here the suggested way is to hit the head pin across, but he sent the ball between the 1-3, kicked the 6 out, kicks the 10.
Terry, I know they're behind, but if they didn't close out that frame, it would have been just about the ball game.
Well, that's exactly what I thought. I really thought that if Billy had, he was sort of going to go for it, and he did. And if he opened that, that would have been it. But, well, we've got Ian Bradford here. See if he can put the ball in there again.
All right.
Okay, good break.
You know, the Victorians have gone high a bit. They've been getting the breaks. But, again, they're playing a percentage game. They're keeping the ball in the pocket all the time. They're good players. And I don't really feel that Victoria's been particularly lucky. In actual fact, they've hit the pocket quite a few times and not got strikes. So the Victorians are just so solid that it's all working for them. But this should be a formality for Ian.
And it is. He knew the first ball was probably one of the worst he's bowled in the tournament. He just put the spare away and just keep the clock ticking over.
Exactly. Well, they're 24 pins in front at this stage. And really, they only have to, they're on a 190 pace. They know the New South Wales bowlers have to strike, and they also know New South Wales not bowling particularly well, and they are.
Hold it!
Yes! She liked it halfway down the lane. And that's desperation stuff from Susie Castle.
Well, you know, she was unlucky with the 4-9 in the previous frame. She liked this all the way down. She knew it. That's exactly what she wanted. Gives them a strike now in the 8th. Gives them 109 in the 7th. If they take it off the sheet, they can still shoot 199. They can still win. It all depends on what your other team members do and also what Cara Honeychurch does now. She's been rock solid so far. 2 good balls in the pocket. See what she does with this one.
Now, that makes things interesting.
Well, for a couple of reasons, like, Cara's previous shot on this lane was a 5-pin. She's got up here now and she's left the 5-9-7. That's an awful lead. You can see a ball there sliding through. The ball hit the head pin and just deflected. See the oil on a ball there, so there's a lot more oil on the back end. And, there's only 2 left-handers in the field, so it's probably a bit tough on the left. She's got to try and kick this pin across.
And she's done it. We were just saying how this girl has been so solid for the Victorians, and you've just saw the best example of it for the tournament.
Well, I think that says it all there with John Sullivan. Great stuff. This is a great shot. That was a bit of an ego-deflating shot, the first one, but this is just superb. Look at this. Just picks it up. That's exactly what you've got to do. Again, now the pressure's all on Robert. He has to strike. Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's goodbye New South Wales. They really needed to strike there. As I've said, the way to play the game this week was obviously down the boards. These guys are just covering too many boards, trying to hook the ball too much. He's got to try and put it between it.
Shot!
Good shot. Perfect. Yeah, it gives them 149, 129 in the 8th. But if Victoria get up here and they can strike, it'll put them 150. There'll be 21 pins in front. Cara Honeychurch then really the only chance of making a mistake there was if she'd left that frame open. And if New South Wales could have struck, there could have been a big turnaround, but that wasn't the case.
Well, you wouldn't think John Sullivan, with his experience and knowing how tight this match is, would do anything silly. No, he's too good, this 45-year-old. The Mr. Magic of the lanes. John Sullivan just makes sure of it.
This is just a super shot by John. Sends it out, brings it back perfect 10 in the pit. He knows it. He's done that a million times to win tournaments. He's a great player. It's just this Victorian side, I think, is rock solid. I think you've got your winners of the event here. These guys are just super. They're playing so well together as a team, and right now in the 9th frame, they're 21 pins in the lead.
And it's all elementary now for New South Wales. Their run has come to an end, and they have struggled in the latter part of this tournament.
Well, personally, I think they've struggled the whole way through in the event because Billy Garner is such a good player. Like the guy earlier in the year bowled 2 300s in one day.
You're going to go out, you might as well go out in style.
Another one.
Well, Billy at this stage, you know, he's bowled very ordinary throughout the event. He wants to try and finish with something. That's the shots that he normally throws. You know, I bowl with him every week and he bowls a heck of a lot better than this. Powerful ball of his, but just not hasn't worked today. Not taking anything from the Victorians, they are bowling superbly. They are reading the lanes well, and they are bowling the conditions as they are, not trying to make anything.
He's got another one.
All right, another good shot. Right.
Well,
And again, Billy. Come on, and again.
at least with these 2 strikes, Billy has made the situation where the Victorians have to close the 10th frame to win. So if any mistakes are made, though, for the life of me, I wouldn't be relying on Ian Bradford to make a mistake when he needs it. He's just too good. But they really need one more here to just get a good count here, at least an 8 or a 9.
Come on. He's got 10. 3 strikes in the 10th frame. Well, you said this fellow had so much ability, and it's taken him to the last frame of the semi-final to find it.
Ian Bradford's just got a mark in the 10th. Let's see how he plays this one.
Oh, how does he play it? You were saying this fellow's not likely to make a mistake. Hasn't made a mistake all tournament. What a great ball under a bit of pressure.
Well, as I've said, I felt the Victorians have been a bit unlucky. They got a bit of a break there. Ian's dropped a little short, but again, he was maybe playing for safety. Wanted to just play it for the Brooklyn side. Ian will be very happy with that. Knows he's won. Doesn't really matter. This is academic.
Oh, academic, how's your arithmetic, Ian Bradford? Just keep adding them up. And this has been a great finish by both states.
There he's just bowled. Like Ian has just bowled so well throughout the event, and he's such a rock-solid player.
Does he finish with a triple? No, he doesn't. But it's a great effort by the Victorians. They're into the final. They defeat New South Wales by 28 pins. Victoria marches into the final after their win over New South Wales. And they'll now play the winner of the second semi-final between Western Australia and South Australia. That's our next match here on Nine's Wide World of Sport.